So, for background, my husband, 30 male, had an affair in late 2018. He confessed right away, and while it wasn't easy, we were able to work things out and I forgave him, cause I could really see how remorseful he was. In 2019 though, my husband told me that his AP was pregnant, and he was most likely the father. When the child was born, they had a DNA test, and it was definitely his. This opened up a lot of old wounds as we were trying for a baby for the last few years, but couldn't get pregnant. My husband financially supported them, which wasn't hard cause he made good money, and I decided to just pretend they didn't exist. A few months after the baby's birth, the mother died in a car accident. My husband stepped up and took the baby in, cause his affair partner didn't have any family left. I obviously wasn't thrilled, but decided to just be a hands-off stepmother. My husband wasn't happy but understood. However, I realized it wasn't the kid's fault, and I was being a heartless bee for not being able to love a motherless child who needed me. I decided to go full mommy, and I found myself falling in love with her. Things were great for our little family, despite the fact that my parents and most of my siblings hated my husband and wanted nothing to do with our daughter. I adopted her and became a stay-at-home mom. A few months ago, though, my husband got virus and passed away shortly after. I'm still not over it, and I miss him every day. No one came to his funeral except for my little brother and his girlfriend, who were the only ones who were okay with us. Him and his girlfriend have been over several times a week to make sure I'm okay, and are helping me with stuff around the house. I'm just a mess at the moment. Since last month, my parents and the rest of my family have been harassing me about giving up my daughter. They said that it's time I moved on and restart my career. They offered to look for someone to take care of my daughter and pay for support themselves. They kept saying how no one would want a single mom and that she's not even my child anyway. It's all been heartbreaking, and if it wasn't for my baby, I wouldn't know how to deal with it. I've considered moving to a different state. However, I'm not sure if I can survive without any sort of emotional support. We inherited the house from his late parents, and he left a substantial amount of money for us, so my daughter and I won't be destitute anytime soon. If I leave, though, I'll be leaving behind everything I've ever known for the last 28 years, and that's a scary thing to do with only my kid with me. I don't have any friends either, as they cut me off for taking back a cheater, and my husband cut off his friends, cause they're the ones who encouraged the affair. What should I do? I want to cut off my family, but I can't completely disappear cause it's a small town, and they will see me and my daughter every now and then in public if we stay here. But I'll have my little brother on my side, who promised he'll cut off our family if I do. If I leave, though, I'll be a jobless single mother with no one to support me. I'm not sure what I want to get out of this. Advice? Maybe I just need somewhere to vent other than my already exhausted brother. I don't know. That's a whirlwind. My best advice, look for jobs in a nice place for kids. Don't give up on that little girl, she needs you. It can be really hard to leave your whole life behind, but new beginnings are amazing. Even if you don't move, don't give up on the adorable ball of joy, and I hope you figure things out. I, 27 female, screwed up with my birth control during a trip we had about 3 months ago, and I ended up pregnant. My husband, 47 male, and I are fine with it, even though it wasn't planned. But my sister-in-law thinks differently. Ever since we told his family about the baby, she hasn't stopped making sarcastic comments about me. Basically, she thinks I got pregnant on purpose, because before that trip, my husband's ex started working with him, and she is clearly interested in him. And my sister-in-law, 26 female, thinks that I was jealous, and that's why I got pregnant, to keep him with me. And that's not true. My husband has told her to stop saying those things, but she didn't stop. On the contrary, she kept making jokes and even said that the best thing he can do is have a vasectomy, so that I don't end up filling the house with children and destroying his social life. She says that because she always jokes that since we have children, he never has time for his family or friends, because he is all the time with us or taking care of the children when I go out with my friends. And I feel terrible because I know she's being harsh, but I also know that it's all my fault, because I insisted that I would be the one in charge of protection, and I screwed up like I was a teenager. And what hurt me is that even though my husband insists that he knows it wasn't on purpose, the other day, he told me that I don't have to feel insecure about anything or anyone because he doesn't have eyes for anyone else. And that was like a slap in the face, because if he says that, it's because maybe deep inside, he thinks I got pregnant on purpose too. I didn't tell him anything, but I feel terrible. I feel like I screwed up and that I'm a horrible mother. Our kids, 4 male, 3 male, 22-month-old girl, and 6-month-old girl. are really young, and I feel like another baby will make me spend less time with them, and I don't want them to hate me for that. But I don't want to get rid of this baby either, and I don't know how to stop feeling this way, and I feel like I can't talk to anyone about it, because my friends also make jokes that I got pregnant because I was jealous, and I'm sick of hearing that. And the worst part is that even my therapist told me that maybe, unconsciously, I got pregnant to keep him close, and I know I didn't do that. But hearing everyone say that is horrible, and it makes me feel like I'm a cracky person, and I don't know what to do to stop feeling this way. I wouldn't think very highly of my brother if he married someone half his age and quickly had her pop out 4 kids, and had another on the way. What she's saying says much more about him than it does about you. But she's his sister, so it's framed as this bimbo child is trapping my brother with more babies. But trust me, you're not the problem here, and she probably knows it. Ha. I've been with Brad since we were 15, but had been close friends for 3 years before getting together. He'd come over for family gatherings and was friends with my sister's boyfriend, now husband. We moved in together earlier this year, and that's when things kind of fell apart, because we both want like entirely different things from life. He wants children, and I personally don't. I'm not entirely against the idea of children, but, like, not within the next 10 years. We haven't argued over it, but that's mostly because of the current situation, and I'm busy with work and uni, and he's busy with work. We rarely see each other lately, but that was going to change once I finished university and got a decent job. I found out by a close friend of ours telling me, a few months after finding out about him cheating, so we weren't even having problems when he cheated on me. We were in the best part of our relationship then. I confronted him and we broke up. I asked to move in with my mom, who refused to enable this, and then asked my sister, who thankfully agreed. They've been inviting him around because they're still friends, her husband and my ex. He still wants our relationship to work. I'm the one who's ending things. I played a part in our relationship ending because a relationship takes work. They know he's a good guy who didn't mean it. Thing is, I've messaged him and spoken to him about trying again, but he's made it clear he'd picked his affair partner over me. I can't cut him off without cutting family off, and I don't want to jump to cutting people off, especially when I rely on them for living arrangements. How on earth did he not mean to cheat? I don't think he can accidentally sleep with someone else. What did he do? Slip and fall on someone when they were both nude? Cheating is cheating, no matter how nice a person is. Show your family where he doesn't choose you, and didn't choose you while you were in a committed relationship. And he told you to your face he would choose his affair partner over you. Start asking your family why they are choosing someone who chose someone else over their own family. Their literal daughter. He doesn't want you, but your family is still trying to force him on you. You deserve better. Ask your family that. Ask them if they think you deserve better. That you deserve the best partner you could have. Ask them why they want you to settle for unhappiness. Why do they want you to settle for someone who doesn't even want to settle with you? Ask them why your happiness is less important than a man who can't keep his wiener out of women who aren't you. Be vulgar. Be shocking. Demand to know why they are putting someone above you, who isn't family, who did something unforgivable, over you. Why are you so minuscule and unimportant to your family? Why don't your feelings matter? Ask them. Demand they answer. The only way they will get that they have no right to force you into this situation is to show them how ignorant they are of the situation. My mother had a horrible, horrible childhood. Adopted kid who grew up in an A home. Lost both adopted parents before turning 16. Had a horrible experience in an orphanage, foster care. Hopped around from place to place. Continued to be A until she met my dad. They fell madly in love, they got married, and started their family. The catch? She was a lesbian, and was upfront about that to my dad. But he didn't care because they loved each other. They had 5 kids together. Older sibling was had before she met dad. But all my growing up, it was nothing but explosive fight after explosive fight. Multiple threats of divorce in the face of financial troubles, church woes, etc. Fast forward 28 years. All the kids are adults. The marriage is on the rocks again. And then my mom meets her new, female, best friend, who was also married, who had a similar orphanage, crappy upbringing. They immediately bond over shared drama, and then they realize that they love each other and start an affair. Mom denies any infidelity at first, until she finally admits that she's a lesbian, is in love with her best friend, and they intend to both get divorces so they can be with each other. That was last year. Over the last 12 months, their relationship has been absolute chaos. I tried to make it work. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I legitimately love my mom and want her to be fully herself and happy in a relationship where she can be herself. But this relationship is toxic. They've been on and off again every few weeks, and every time the breakup happens, then mom falls back on us kids to be there for her because she has no one else. We tell her to ditch the relationship, to sell our childhood home and start a new life, but she always falls back into the arms of her new love, who was raised by a narcissist and is 100% a manipulative person who weaponizes emotional A. The final straw for me was when mom's lover attempted S over petty family drama, but my mom stood by her side and said none of us kids understood what her lover was going through. A few more breakups happen, and I'm at the end of my rope. Drawing boundaries, distancing myself, but I'm still trying to convince her that this relationship is toxic and bad for both of them. Now I found out that my parents' divorce is finalized. Neither of them tell me. I find out from a younger sibling. And then mom calls me to tell me that she and her lover are engaged. Again, this happened the day the divorce was finalized, and it was my mom who proposed. And that they're going to make it work, because they love each other, and when it's good and there's no drama, their relationship is amazing. Mom expects all of us kids to be okay with this new development, and to snap into formation at the new family dynamic. I told her I want her to be happy, and if that's with her lover, then fine. But it's going to take a long time for me to see that their relationship is healthy and non-toxic before I can even begin warming up to this. She said she understood, but I know she's not going to give me very much time before she starts insisting I come over for the holidays. She says she has no one but her kids and her new partner, but she doesn't want to choose between us. So she's essentially demanding that her children do as good children do and support their mother no matter what. I don't know if I can do that. Edit. I should clarify that I'm not blaming my mom for the divorce. She just was the one who initiated it. My parents were equal parts in the ruination of their marriage. It's just that one had an affair before the separation even started. Honestly, I would distance the crap out of this relationship. I wouldn't see her in person until she accepted that I didn't want to see this woman again. From your description of your mother's childhood and your parents' marriage, it sounds like your mother doesn't have any experience with stable non-toxic relationships, so it's not surprising that this new relationship is also toxic and unstable. Has she ever seen a therapist to work through any of her past? If not, then even if she leaves this woman, she will probably find herself drawn to another toxic relationship. I speak from experience on this one. Of course she wants you to be okay with it. No one likes to be judged for the ridiculously embarrassing and juvenile behavior. Hi everyone. My ex-wife, 45 female, left me, 41 male, 2 years ago after 17 years together. We have finalized our divorce during December 2020, and now we are selling the only asset we have in common. Our house. We bought the house as our home, and not as an investment. Therefore, we overcapitalized doing a massive renovation, not knowing of course that our relationship would have been destroyed quite soon. I was the one aware of this. She convinced herself that the house was now so incredible that people would want to pay an absurd amount of money for it. Of course, it is a beautiful home in a very nice spot, above average, but far from what she thought. She prepared all the legal documents asking for 50%, which I accepted. She made a proper evaluation which destroyed her dreams of reselling for huge money. The house must be sold by September, as per the document she prepared. Now, she finds herself in the position where 50% will not give the money she wanted. She offered to buy my part for the bare minimum AMD. After I started negotiating, she threatened to boycott the auction in September. We both have new partners, and 2 days ago, she called me crying and saying that she did not want to leave me forever, that she needed a year to recover from the stress of job, family, renovation, that her partner is not a real family, that S is almost non-existent, that she misses us, and that she is mortified for this disaster. She cried for 30 minutes telling me that I moved on too quickly. She is spying on me and my partner on Facebook, mainly my partner. My Facebook is locked. And she described the pictures where we were together. She checked where we live and she threatened to come over there. Last month she brought some of my old stuff. It was just an excuse to see if I was still hers. Apparently, my behavior was too cold. She was desperate and completely out of her mind. She told me she is taking antidepressants, and she has panic attacks, and even her son, my stepson, is on my side. I'm putting this out as I need to tell this to someone. It is like I need to let this out. She hurt me so much. She caused an incredible mess, and now that she feels the pain, she is doing all this. I love my partner, and I feel guilty even thinking of going back. I am scared to go back. Part of me still thinks about the good memories. Part of me is terrified. I feel pity for my ex. I do not think I can love her anymore, but part of me believed she was my soulmate for almost 2 decades. I never heard her so desperate in her life. I should be happy for this karma coming back. I feel only emptiness. I barely slept 2 hours last night. Is anyone willing to share their thoughts and opinions? Thank you. As someone who is divorced, I can tell you that it's totally normal to feel those pangs about the good times during the relationship. It happens to me from time to time, and then I remind myself of all the bad things my ex-wife did, and it snaps me right out of it. She's only looking to reconcile because she's not getting the money out of the house she thought she would. I guarantee you that if you got back together, she'd hang around until the house appreciated enough to where she wanted it to be. Besides, she's the one who walked out. If she really does want to resume the relationship, too bad, so sad, you've moved on, and you should stay moved on.